Oh no, this is blurry. All right. Welcome. Hello. Welcome back to Be Still and Know with Adam. And I am live streaming again. Just gonna do another off the cuff chat. Just talking about different things going on in my life and different things basically happening in my sphere of the universe, but also it can apply to your life too. Um, so, talking about duality, talking about um, dark and light, yin and yang, how both can exist at the same time. And so, just from my experience, just to kind of give some examples, been having a hard time with some life events. Different life events been happening that have been kind of seems like they've been taking their toll on my patience, on my joy, on my spirit, and they've been kind of uh, disheartening in a lot of ways. And so those are some kind of things that have been happening in my life that have kind of been dragging me down. Work related stuff been disappointing me. Life and just hard times, deaths happening around, disappointments. Um, just a lot of things in general just have been kind of bringing me down. But at the same time, what's really strange is that this is also, you can see my shirt a little bit, in DNA tree. This has also been one of the um, more, I'd say, positive and hopeful times in my life because I just got engaged. And so this is a really big step for me. I've never been in a situation like that before in an engagement. And so it's a really big step, and it's also very joyous, and it's very exciting, and it's all happening at the same time as all these other disappointments and things that have these setbacks. And I've watched a lot of people in my life, speakers and things like that. And one of the people that I've watched or have watched in the past has been Joel Osteen. And Joel Osteen talks about how setbacks are actually setups. And he's not talking about like it's a setup, like someone's been ratted on. But he talks about how they're setups for a bigger event to happen. Like it's the pieces falling in place for a bigger event. It's a redirection that's going to help you. So it may look like a disappointment, it may look like a setback, but it's actually a setup for something that will propel you to your higher future. So that's how I like to look at setbacks and look at them like they are basically a divine redirection. Um, but what happens when the setbacks seem to be tearing you down at the same time as great things happening around you? Okay, so me meeting my who I hope to be my forever partner and getting engaged. Okay, that's a beautiful thing that happened at around the same time as my grandmother passing away. So these are some big things that are big life events, and they're happening at the same time. All right. It's like the universe is showing its dark and light, its duality. There's two sides to every coin, and there's always the opposite of everything. For every reaction, there is a reaction, and so that's kind of what I'm seeing in my life is these great opportunities followed by these great disappointments. Um, Recently got some bad news about my job is downsizing, and they kind of laid off my position, and they're making me basically they're not paying me in for 2 months, and so it's kind of been a struggle. So I'm gonna have to find another way to make money and to pay my bills, and that's kind of been weighing heavily on my mind. Like, how am I going to pay my bills for 2 months with no income? And then they want me to come back after that. So it's kind of it's a strange situation to be in. And so I'm going to have to find probably a summer job, and it's going to be stressful, and it's not something I want to do. But, at the same time, I'm also getting married soon. It's amazing. So these different dualities are showing themselves in my life. If you have any dualities show themselves in your life, go ahead and comment. I forgot to tell you, like and subscribe. If you want to follow me, if you like this kind of content, usually my live sessions have been like these last couple times have been more just open dialogue, kind of chatting about different energies and themes in life. And today I'm talking about, the dualities, the good and the bad, the dark and the light, the dark side of the force, and also just the force itself. And so just know that these things exist in our reality, in our universe. They will be there. There will always be some kind of downer for everything that is exciting, and there will always be some kind of silver lining for every disappointment, and a divine redirection from every closed door. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, is just seeing that there are two sides to everything, and it can be a positive thing. You can see it as kind of a kind of, as hopeful that there's always some other side to every negative situation. And you could also just see it as kind of just sobering reality, that no matter how happy you are, there's going to be something that comes along and knocks you down a little bit. All right, sets you back a little bit. No matter how many gains you make, there's always going to be something to come and teach you a lesson on how you can do things differently. And it'll look like a setback sometimes. It will look like a disappointment, and it will just make you feel kind of crummy. And so just know that the bad times don't last forever, but also the good times will not also last forever. Everything is temporary in this reality. That's the one thing I learned from Buddhism, is that in this reality, temporary is the way of the universe. And so everything is going to eventually fade away. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's rock, stone, tree, flesh, everything eventually fades, changes, turns into something new, recycles, but it's not the same. It's always in flux, always changing. But I guess the good thing about that is that even though things change form, they change dimension, they, in essence, stay the same. It's still the same particles. It's still the same matter. Nothing is ever gone forever. It's just recycled. And so even though there are deaths, and there is the taking away of things, there's always the adding back of things. There's always, for every winter, there's always a spring. And so that's just the natural flow of life. For every destruction, there is new creation. It just happens that way. That's the way it kind of flows. And so just know that there's two sides to everything. And having kind of perspective like that keeps you from getting too depressed about your negative situations. But it also keeps you sober in your positive times. You're like, hey, man, everything's going good, But, just cherish it while it's here, because it probably won't be here forever. In fact, I guarantee you, it won't be here forever. And so even where I'm sitting right now, it's kind of sobering for me. This is the bedroom where I kind of grew up. My grandparents lived in this house for 30-something years. And my grandpa used to smoke cigarettes in this room every day. And he got all these walls yellow, probably. That's probably why they're yellow. They probably didn't start off yellow. But we recently, since my grandmother passed away, we recently cleared out this bedroom, and we decided to start looking at how we're going to use it in the future. And so the walls are kind of empty right now. The room is still kind of cluttered with stuff around the floor. My grandparents' ashes are even still in here. And so we're in transition from the old to the new. And like I said before, I'd like to start a family with my girlfriend and get married. And so that's the new that we have to make room for in order for new things and better things to happen. And because to show that we're not, just because somebody passes away, we're not done living life, and it doesn't stop. And grandparents wouldn't want me to have that kind of feeling either. They'd want me to keep going and to find my own path. And so I think that being in this room, my girlfriend set a desk in here so I could live chat without the cats going crazy behind me. And so just to give me a little bit of space. And just being in this room with this yellowing wallpaper and the smell of cigarettes. My grandmother used to try and chase me out of here. He'd be in here with a big old cloud of cigarette smoke all around him. And I'd be sitting next to him, just wanted to hang out and just love, hanging out with my grandpa and spending time with him. And my grandma would always come in and be like, "Hey, get out of there! You're not supposed to be in there. That's bad for you. Get out of there!" And I would say, "No, I want to be with my tata. I want to stay here and watch TV with my tata." And so I would, just try and stay in the room. And this probably wasn't good for me, but just being back here and seeing this room kind of empty is kind of, it's bittersweet. It's like I feel the yin and yang in this moment. I feel the new, which is coming in, and the hope for something new. But I also feel the sadness of the passing and the loss and the disappointment and the fact that they're not here anymore. And I see that the walls are empty, and where there used to be pictures and paintings and things that were part of their lives. It was their expression of their life, and now they're not here, and it's sobering. It's like the end of a long era, and a long winter has passed, and now it's time for spring, and it's time for new things. And just cleaning out this room has been very hard for my family in general. They took a long time to come over and actually start to take the stuff out, so that we can start using the rooms for other things. And the only thing left on the wall is a kind of like it's a fabric like picture that they blew up on a piece of fabric, and it's like a banner of me as a baby, and has my nickname that they gave me, Sunshine, on it, and it says, "I love Grandma and Grandpa." And it's kind of weird that that's the only thing left in this room on the wall, and I'm left with myself, and the realization that I meant a lot to them, and it's emotional for me because I'm left with just me and their ashes, and it feels like the world's on my shoulders to carry on and to make something of myself and this life, and to do better for my family, and it feels like I'm a little lost at times while I'm getting engaged. So you see, there's duality everywhere. I feel hurt and I feel excited and joy at the same time. And so that's what I think is beautiful about this universe. We don't have to choose one or the other. We can have both. We can experience loss and heartache and see the benefits and the merits of it. And we can experience the joy that comes when new creation and new life and new opportunities and new goals and new hope are placed in our path. And so we can see both of them. And I think that's amazing. It's amazing to me that we have both, and we can balance both as humans. It makes us truly remarkable that I can sit here and talk about my grandparents' loss and the joy of their memory at the same time, and smile about the things that we did together and still be sad that they're gone, and smile about new opportunities and still be sad that my job has given me issues and money issues and family drama and things in that that you can't really control. And so there can be both. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today was duality, the way that we live our lives in kind of multiple dimensions. We live our lives in a mode where we're surviving. We live our lives in a mode where we're planning for the future and mourning the past, all at the same time. So anyway, that's kind of my talk that I wanted to do today. Getting close to feeling like it's going to be over, because I go with these live chats, I go with what feels right and how much time I should talk. So thanks for watching. Thank you for joining me for Be Still and Know with Adam. If you like this content, if you like my channel, if you like my hair, if you like my authenticity and the way I try to speak my truth, even when I'm having a hard time and having rough days, and still try to share knowledge and share wisdom and just be there for you, then hopefully you can subscribe and you can be there with me, and we can be together and we can have a community and have talks and chats and hopefully start something that is meaningful in this reality, more meaningful than we've been told that we could have. More meaningful than just TV, more meaningful than just, scrolling on our TikToks for hours and hours, more meaningful than just buying fast food and getting binge out on toxins. There are so many more meaningful things we can do, even through digital means like this, through YouTube, through Zoom chats, different things. So if you like the stuff, subscribe, like the video, give me a holler, give me a chat, email, whatever. Maybe you can collaborate. But thanks again for being here. I always say my catchphrase at the end because it's true that even in a hard time, okay, when there's duality, remember that no matter what comes your way, it's going to be a great day. And that's because you can choose to see it that way. And you can also choose to make every moment a new day. All right. Every hour of the day is a new day. It's a new time. So even if you had a hard morning, you can have a great night. So that's why no matter what comes your way, you choose to make it a great day. All right. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.